Hey Addicts, welcome back. We are here for the Danmachi movie review.
Arrow of Orion?
Yes. Or, it's weird. I think it's like Arrow of the Orion? But I don't know. Like, the articles.
Zelda stuff.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, we've been waiting for this a long time. It released in Japan February, like 27th of 2019, and we're just now getting it here in the States.
But we were good boys. We watched it in theaters and ported them.
Yes. And I'm glad that we waited until we saw it in the theaters because I'm just glad my first viewing of it wasn't tainted by like poorly audio, like
or
generated, on YouTube.
It really looked great on the big screen. I mean,
it really did.
They had an interview afterwards with the director, which I won't get into this too long because it's not super important. But they talked about how they adapted it to like the big screen. They wanted to make sure all the little details were perfect. So.
And they kept U.S. sweeps in mind.
They did
into the marketing of this. But if you guys don't know, the story of this is pretty simple, I would say. It takes place after season 1, but before season 2, so Belle's still level 2. It focuses on this like event. It's like a festival where they celebrate the moon. Belle's family, along with like Welf and Lily, they're going to this event. Hermes, with all of his schemes, is hosting this like
raffle,
raffle fundraiser thing. And it's like if you basically pull this spear out of this ice crystal, which is their version of like Sword in the Stone, you win this like trip. And obviously, Belle's the one that gets it. We get a new god show up that Hestia actually knows, and this is another virginity or like purity god named Artemis.
Which Hestia has a good name for her in the introduction. This is like I don't remember
what anti-romance is.
Yeah, pretty much. But there's another line associated that's funny, but yeah.
And we get to see that the raffle is like fake, and Artemis actually has a quest for them, and it's like a world-threatening quest. So that's really cool. That's just the setup. I probably won't give too much more away than that because that's basically the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes of it. But we're here to talk about the good and bad. I think there's a lot of great little moments. I don't know how much we'll get into that, but I think. There is definitely a lot of highlights for both anime watchers and like book readers. There's definitely some like references or like maybe like nods to the first season of the anime. Like there's definitely one with like Hermes that resonates back to like the back half of season 1. But there's also some like little Easter egg references for like book readers for like certain characters that you probably will see in like the second season.
Character at the end that I don't know who she is.
Yeah, the one with glasses. I have no idea. That's for another time, probably.
Ophelia's in this movie.
She is, which is probably, I think, the first time we've seen her and Belle in anime form that's attached to, like, the main series. Like, well, I guess the movie's not really part of the main series. I guess it sort of is.
I don't know.
I mean, we've seen her, like, sword Orario or whatever you want to pronounce it, but, I do like that interaction with her at the beginning, because Hestia and Lafia have this, like, competition. And so, like, they want to, like, see who has the better, like, partner, I guess. So that's a really fun thing that pops up.
Lily's great in this movie, too. Which, going back and seeing, obviously, what's happening in the second season now, it's like, oh, that's cool. We do have a Ophelia-like fantasy with, that's Lily fantasizing of Belle. And that's pretty great.
Yeah.
Something that I want to get into that I really enjoyed that's not, specific details, but I really like the tone throughout this movie. There are a lot of great comedic moments that hit you out of nowhere, and at the same time, like, the beginning and end of the movie has some mature and dark tones that I really appreciated.
That fits, like, the core of the series.
Yeah, it really has some weight to Belle as a character, and I appreciated the whole journey. I think they really, sometimes when you have, like, it's like, for example, I'm not, but like certain movies are like, well, the happy tone is what people are into. We're going to try to make it like this. And then others are like, oh, we're going to like make it super dark. And I think it's really hard to make a movie where it's like balanced, know? And I think they really did that well throughout. And there was nothing that was out of place as far as like the tone. And I was able to laugh at the funny moments and be sad and like be enthralled with the thrilling moments.
I think one of the things that right off the bat I appreciated a lot about the movie is how it opened, because for somebody that like reads the novels and just knows the kind of stuff like they touch on in terms of like the arcs and like everything that's going on, it's really cool, or it was really cool to get like that first like animated visual of that tone, because we haven't seen that yet. I'm sure it's going to get to it in the second season, but like, since at the time of this that we saw it, the full second season hasn't aired yet, it was really cool seeing that. I think the other thing they do a really good job is balancing of characters, both like old and new. Like the old characters, I would say you see pretty much all of the characters, at least that's like for the most part revealed by the end of like the first season. So they each have like little screen time moments. There's some great with like Otter and Freya, and then for all the people out there, like we said, you do get like Loki Familia. But the real thing that I think was like a huge standout and probably a testament of the movie in general was Artemis, because she's like a really cool character. Like, and like I don't want to sound like she's just like, oh no, she's like aesthetically cool, like whatever. But I think like the story that she plays a role in, I think is really well, and I think the direction they decided to go for, like, because I would say her character is a big plot point to the nemesis that they have to go up against, and I liked seeing that connection there, and I think it fits really well for where they wanted to place it in the timeline. Because I think that was like the biggest worry I had going into the movie was like, Bell's level 2, how are they going to make this interesting? And I think they do it in a way that makes it maybe one of the biggest threats we've seen him go up against, even, comparing it to like, up to like book 13, but also making it like not super unbelievable of why he's able to go on such a high risk adventure.
Yeah. And I think dividing the screen time up from the characters in season 1 was pretty great. There are some particular elements I really enjoyed. I won't go scene by scene because I don't want to make it too spoilery, but I liked Otter's role in this movie. There's one great scene, and I liked basically the action scenes in general. Most of the new monsters that they created are like scorpion kind of like things.
Yeah.
And I think the animation was pretty great, and the fight scenes with Belle and everyone else, I think it was done well. And Hermes Familia is pretty involved in this. Mm-hmm. So it was interesting to see them fight, because we really don't get to see them. They aren't highlighted much in the first season. Mm-hmm. And obviously they become more important later on for various reasons. And then we also get one, we get the character that's always around helping Belle, which, no, I'm not talking about Freya, but yes, that's correct. But I'm talking about the other one, which I don't even reveal. But, so yeah, you get some great action scenes, and like Josh said, I think the stakes, it's always hard when you make the stakes like, oh, it's going to be like really bad, everything's on the line.
Yeah.
But I think the way they presented it around the new character and how it was done, it's really hard to say without like blatant spoilers, but I think that was appropriate for the timeline. Now, obviously, nothing's going to be perfect, because he made this original story, it wasn't his original plan for Danmachi, it wasn't part of the continuity when he made Volume 5 and 6 and 7. There's
definitely some minor inconsistencies, but they're not like, right up in your face bad.
And it's nothing that it's like matters.
Yeah, that cares too much.
So yeah, overall, I think the movie was great. It was, I think it was about an hour and 30 minutes. You can obviously look it up on IMDb or wherever. But it was around an hour and 30 minutes. I think that length was great. And I don't know if it's going to be in the States again or anywhere else, Europe. I don't know when they're going to release it more. But I would get it on DVD, because the interviews at the ends were very... very
that was worth it alone.
Yeah, the interviews at the end of the film were very great. Just complete awkwardness that you rarely see from someone who's like 40 years
old. I can't believe they were like, yeah, put that in theaters. That was so good. But yeah, I loved the movie. I honestly, I haven't seen that many anime tie-in movies, so maybe I can't really say, but I think as like a diehard fan of this series, I think it was really, worth the wait. It was worth the money to go see it. I would definitely watch it again because I just found it like really cool. There's, I don't know, there's like, I don't want to say it's filled with just a lot of little moments, but I think those are the things I always find the most appreciating because it just shows that people, have like a big passion for the project, and it's just nice to see that the movie wasn't just a cash grab, right? They weren't just putting that out there because they know they have a lot of fans and people have been waiting for the second season. It looked like they put the same amount of effort as they did with the first season and what we're seeing in the second season.
And it was great that it was original material by the author because you had like the Overlord film that was just like kind of a review of the first season and like a 3 hour thing.
I'd be so
second season. Yeah, so it was really great that they put a lot of effort into it. And like Josh, I was gonna give like a 2-minute speech about how it wasn't a cash grab, but yeah, no, it was like really good. So if I had to give a rating, which we haven't done in a while,
We haven't.
I think I would go with FFA. It's close to a 10, but it's close to Pure Ecstasy for sure. But it's a solid FFA. It is probably my favorite animated movie of adapted from light novel series. Mm-hmm. Your Name is up there as well, which we will probably review at some point. But it's just really well done, well animated. It fits the big screen, the audio and the visuals and everything translates great to a theater experience. And I think one of the biggest hurdles is like, why is this a movie? Why isn't this a TV series? And I think they really justified why it fit into the format of a movie. So yeah, my rating would be an FFA for sure.
Yeah, that's the same with me. I completely agree with all those points. I think the thing that's most interesting to me is how the movie left off. I would say maybe my only gripe is like, wow, that was so cool. Why don't we see some like written resonating factors of that in like the season? Because like I can understand the book why, because there was some things that like in the interviews they mentioned like if especially like probably like the biggest thing that affects Belle at the end of the movie was not originally written by the author. That was something that the people that were producing the movie actually decided to put in. So I can understand why some of that stuff hasn't been shown in the books, obviously, because like timeline, right? He doesn't want to go back and like republish all those first books. But in the second season, I really hope we can see some of that, to have a bit more impact, because I just like the concepts I like to see connected to.
Yeah, and something that's great about the adaptation, at least for the second season, is that they've been hitting the books beat by beat, and they've really respected the author's vision for what Danmachi is. So
what I'm saying is, give us a second movie along with the third season.
That's true.
And I'll support you till my days are end.
Yeah, I would take a movie from Volume 8 if you don't want to do episodes of it. Yeah. That's fine with me.
But yeah, anyway, it's a great movie, so you guys should go watch it. We may do a spoiler discussion of the movie, or we might just like include some movie talk in one of the other discussions we do. So if you're looking for more of that, I would say stay tuned because we'll have that. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen the movie, go watch it. I think it was only one day in theaters, but I don't know.
In the US, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. They might re-release it, or you should definitely watch out for it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, and this is one of the series that go buy the Blu-ray. Support the author, support. A channel's centered a lot around Danmachi, and that's something that I don't know, it's kind of weird to say, but I was proud that I could support it by buying a ticket and going to see it. So
yeah, we didn't get recognized in the theater, by the way. So yeah, we're not big yet.
We're good.
But anyway, guys, that'll conclude this review, and we'll see you guys next time. So later.
Later.